This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with a 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available reclining lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, welcome back, Valerie.
Thank you.
Repeat offender.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Yeah,
I know, this is amazing.
The first repeat offender in the guest category.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool.
We thought it was going to be Stu Gatz, but, he's Stu Gatz, so.
Yeah.
Hasn't shown up since.
You'll never see him again.
Never see him again unless we pay him.
So you guys already did a podcast on this, right? That's what you guys are doing.
Valerie, you should be proud to know that you have birthed a whole new extension, a wing of Cinephobe. We're now going to make it a regular feature, the 0.5 episodes, where we talk to a guest about the movie. And that was all inspired by you and your weird schedule.
Oh my God, yes.
They included birthdays and friends visiting and shit like that.
This is the best day of my life, you guys.
This is.
Yeah.
Wow.
This right here.
That's... Last time we recorded on your birthday, but now today is the best day. Val, do you want to just talk? Do you need to talk right now? Like, I feel like some of these things are worrying me.
It's all stuck inside, so this is giving me an outlet, finally.
All right, cool.
Your picks have been horrible, man.
It's the point. It's the point of the show.
Isn't it?
Isn't it? It's possible. I don't understand what this podcast is about.
Poppycock.
It's a fuck house. On a weekly basis, we are consuming more concentrated bad movies than probably anybody in the history of mankind.
Poppycock.
What story? What story? What are you talking about?
Do you want lunch?
I have yet to laugh in this movie. I'll just tell you that.
You picked it, motherfucker. So just remember that.
You know the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
I was legitimately offended.
You were offended?
I was offended.
I didn't know you could get offended.
I was offended.
This did it.
If I were gay, I wouldn't be offended.
They're fucking making shit up, Amin.
Inconsequential detail after inconsequential detail after inconsequential detail.
Bees don't lie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm holding a mic in my hands, and now I'm talking all alone.
Welcome to Cinephobe, the podcast where we break down the movies you're afraid to admit you love. I'm Zach Harper. That's Amin El Hassan. That's Anthony Mayes. We are joined by repeat offender Valerie Le Batard as we break down Reindeer games. You heard the episode on Wednesday. This is the addendum. Are we actually calling it a half episode of me? I don't like that.
Addendum was just a disclosure thing.
Yeah.
So for Reindeer games, would it be like
throwing darts?
The sleigh?
Dasher's game?
It's a sleigh. It's the reindeers, they're running, and what's behind it, what's trailing behind it, is the sleigh. So this is the Santa sleigh episode of Reindeer Games.
I don't like that either.
Can anybody tell me why this movie is called Reindeer Games, by the way? I feel like it's such a stupid title.
At one point, Gary Sinise says,
"Don't play no reindeer games with me."
The titular line. But that's why we were going to make a whole movie around a titular line. That's what we're doing.
I think so.
I've got a two-part answer for you, Valerie. One, it's Christmas. which is very important in case you didn't know.
It's true, yeah.
And 2, Ben Affleck's character's name is actually Rudolph.
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, Amin is... His mind is blown, even though we talked about this on the last episode that's already been recorded. So you've heard this already. And Amin, we told him during the trivia that Nick's, his cellmate's name is Nick. His name is Rudy / Rudolph. Saint Nick, Rudolph.
Oh.
We've already been through this, Amin.
Wow.
I don't mind that blowing Valerie's mind, but your mind should not be blown by this.
I haven't listened to the episode.
You did it.
He forgot.
You did the fucking episode. What are you talking about? So yeah, that's why it's called Reindeer Games, Valerie.
This is the first movie, I think, ever to start with a dead Santa Claus. Is that accurate? And there were several, but has this ever happened in a movie?
Miracle on 34th Street? Didn't that start with a dead Santa Claus?
I think Santa Claus murdered somebody to start that movie, but I don't think he was dead. Yeah.
That was Miracle on 134th Street.
Yeah, it's confusing why it's called Reindeer Games. Ben Affleck, I wouldn't say was killing it in this movie. I'm a big fan of what Gary Sinise did in this movie.
Oh my
Gary
God.
Sinise. Whew.
So Valerie, one of the big points of contention we had on the pod that we recorded was Gary Sinise. Does he ever play a good guy?
Yeah.
I said no.
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan was not a good guy.
He's not
he was
a
a
good
war
guy.
criminal. He was a war criminal. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, war criminal?
He committed war crimes, war atrocities.
Name one.
He was a war hero, I mean, I think.
Yeah.
Just like his family members.
Right.
Yeah,
Before he just didn't get to die like they did.
Mhm.
Spoiler alert.
He wanted to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he wanted to. Really. Lost his legs.
He's mean to Forrest Gump, who clearly
He
has
has PTSD.
problems.
But they're actually best friends.
I think you fall in love with his character.
Yeah.
Look, he comes around, but for the most part, he's a bad guy in Forrest Gump. Who's the villain in Forrest Gump if it's not Lieutenant Dan?
Jen A.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
Stole his bit. What say you to that, Amin?
All right.
He's not a smart man, but he knows what love is. And, you know, she didn't. I don't think she knew what love was.
Is Nixon the bad guy in that movie?
No, because he invites him to the White House and shakes his hand.
All right.
So Nixon comes off as a good guy in Forrest Gump. Lieutenant Dan, not so much. I'm going to stick to that.
That's true. All right. That
All right,
is
I got
kinda
this
true.
IMDb. He's the detective in Ransom. He's trying to help Mel Gibson get his son back.
Wait, I thought he was the kidnapper in Ransom.
Probably was. Also, ACAB.
Well, he plays Detective Jimmy Shaker. What a name.
There you go. No one in the history of mankind has ever been a good guy with the name Jimmy Shaker.
He played Harry Truman.
Truman was a monster and a racist.
He plays the guy. Well, he's stuck in his ways. He plays the guy in Apollo 13 who's trying to help them. He's an astronaut. All astronauts are good.
That's true.
He's the asshole astronaut. Remember, he's fighting with Tom Hanks. Although Tom Hanks is the nice astronaut.
Oh.
Yes.
He plays the marshal in Quick and the Dead.
Don't remember that one. Was that the one with Jodie Foster?
No.
Quick and the
that's
Dead.
Maverick.
Oh, that was with Leo DiCaprio, right?
Leo and Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone,
So,
yeah. That was a great movie.
The first time I ever thought like, oh, cowboys. Like, that's hot. Like, because I've always just thought cowboys is disgusting because they never shower. I just think they've got to smell awful.
and you said
I saw DiCaprio and Sharon Stone. I thought that's a meetup I wouldn't mind.
He was amazing at dying there.
The Quick and the Dead and The Ghost in the Darkness were the two movies where I just thought off the title, so dope. I loved it. I didn't even want to watch the movie. Don't tell me what it's about. Ghost in the Darkness is about like a lion, right? Like Val Kilmer hunting lions in Uganda or something like that.
Sort of, yeah.
I haven't seen that.
And neither have I.
It's
I don't
not
want
good.
to. I don't want to ruin. I don't want to ruin it. I like the name. Just leave it at that.
I mean, he's a good guy on NCIS New Orleans or whatever he's on.
But that's a bad show. So by default, everybody on there is bad.
CSI New York.
Whatever. Bad show with 200 episodes.
It's still bad. There's a lot of bad people watching that bad show.
He's the Smithsonian narrator in Captain America Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah, he is. Is
that a bad guy?
Yeah. Misleading, though.
Trying to get your ass around the...
They kept the black Captain America out of that museum. How about that?
Did they?
Now I'm uncomfortable.
They did.
Didn't they?
Well, they retroactively fixed it though. Now.
Yeah, after what? After Captain America?
After letting us know that there was a black Captain America, then they put him in the museum. Yeah.
Wait, is there a black Captain America?
Yeah, there's a whole show about it.
Oh, is that with the whole...
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Black Falcon or whatever? Yeah, all right.
We are learning.
Coming soon, Gary Sinise as Zach Harper.
I would be so honored. Kidding me? You saw the guns in Reindeer games. That's the thing. He's secretly jacked. That dude is in shape.
So let me ask you this, Valerie. Do you think he was supposed to be depicted as somewhat of a sex symbol in this movie?
I wouldn't call him a sex symbol, but he gave something off. Like, I was like, I don't know what that is. I'm scared, but I want more. So is that kind of a sex symbol, I guess, where you're slightly terrified. You don't know what's going to happen next. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I'll tell you what that was, Valerie. It was tension is what it was. As soon as he turns on that light in that hotel room. Woo!
I like to call him Scary Sinise in this movie. And
okay.
I called him Gary Sinus because that's what my autocorrect kept.
Valerie, did you know that his name was Monster in this movie?
Yes.
It took me a long time to know that. It took me about an hour and a half into that movie to know that he was called Monster.
Did you think it was weird that with the cockroaches and the Jello that he was calling them monsters, and then suddenly there's a character named Monster? Like, why do we keep using that word?
Good foreshadowing in the prison by
Isaac Hayes. I was like, he looks so familiar, and then I was like, oh shit, that is motherfucking Isaac Hayes. So I was very excited.
Is it good foreshadowing?
No,
is it not?
Welcome to Cinephobe. All right, so what's this movie about?
It's a heist.
Thank you. Thank you. We need to have Valerie on more often.
I wouldn't mind her replacing you. I'm guessing she remembers the conversation she's had.
You guys fought me on that.
Okay, so it's a heist movie. It's a Christmas heist movie.
Yeah, there's a love story mixed in. It's confusing. It's
a couple of love stories, really.
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm gonna go with just full on heist though.
Okay. Amin just motioned that there are 3 love stories. What are the
3 love stories? Yeah. There's the Charlize and Nick, Charlize and Rudy, and then Charlize and
Monster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's a love story between Charlize and Rudy.
What?
Lust, maybe.
There's as much of a love story between Charlize and Rudy as there is between Charlize and Gary Sinise.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Way more on the scary. Way more on Scary Sinise than
Scary Sinus.
But it wasn't real, just like it wasn't real for Rudy.
But it wasn't. No, but Rudy never felt that way about her. Rudy was using her, and she was clearly using him. So there's no love there. Gary was in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
She was using him. And then obviously Nick and Char are actually in love.
Do you think in the beginning that he saw a possibility in like a love thing with Charlize when he left, the truck and went to go actually see her when her whatever lover wasn't there, and he came up to her? Do you think that he thought there was a chance of love there, or do you think he was just trying to like get in her pants?
Well, if he's lying about his identity, I think he definitely was just trying to get in her pants.
Yeah, he flushed
it down the toilet. He was ready to give up his identity forever.
No, he just didn't want to get caught.
That's I hope she doesn't go through my wallet.
Right.
That's what that was.
Has sex ever been described as getting down her chimney by anybody except for Gary Sinise?
Look, there's certain things that could be, but that's not what they did, or at least not what they showed. So the upper chimney thing, that's what it should have been described as. And these guys pushed me back.
Back up your chimney.
It's very strange.
That just makes me think of in Arrested Development when Lucille is trying to escape on the Queen Mary in Long Beach, and she asks the hot cops dressed as hot sailors if they know how to shovel coal. And it's a sexual position. Not what they thought it was.
Yeah, the up her chimney, down her chimney debacle. That's just not good writing.
I just don't think the chimney should be involved in that conversation at all.
Is that a reindeer game? I'm trying to figure out what the reindeer games were in this, because I don't even fully know what reindeer games are.
Reindeer games in the song are like the games that they won't let Rudy play in.
Right.
And I'm guessing they're taunting Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer a lot in these games, right? Because it wasn't just like, hey, I can't play. It's like, ha, 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 look at this freak with his bright red nose. You may want to get that checked out. In this movie, though, it almost seems like reindeer games are kind of like crocodile tears, right? He's like, hey, don't mess around with me. Like, don't fake around with me. Give me the real. Are you or are you not Nick? And so I'm going to guess that reindeer games are games that people play when they're kind of avoiding the truth.
Okay.
By the way, I wanted to ask you real quick, Valerie, did you watch the director's cut or did you watch? Oh, there you go. So they missed out on.
I didn't miss out. I didn't pay for the movie. I didn't miss out.
It was the best part of the movie when Dennis Farina is talking to the Native American gentleman and he says, you show me another buffet that offers both Coke and Pepsi. Don't even bother looking it up because it don't exist. Now, what else do you people want me to do? And then he turns around and like in the next scene when Ben Aronson, Ben Affleck goes to the bar and says, let me get a rum and cola. The guy says, would you like Coke or Pepsi? I like that touch.
It was cute. It was cute. Dennis Farina is amazing.
Cannot be worth the $4.99.
Absolutely was worth it. Valerie, I asked this question. Have you ever seen a movie that was so bad, but you wanted it to be just a little bit better so that we could get the sequel it deserves? Because I was fascinated with the idea of a prequel to Reindeer Games where we find out why Dennis Farina can't go back to Las Vegas.
Dennis Farina is dead.
That's why it's a
Just
prequel.
gonna leave it there. Oh, you wanted it to be a prequel.
See, that's the reindeer game, is that he's alive.
Well, that would be a quick sequel. Why can't he go back to Vegas? Well, he's dead. Like that would be easy to solve. It's more of a YouTube video.
You cast a young Dennis Farina to play Dennis Farina in Vegas.
There is no young Dennis Farina. Okay.
He's been the same age for a long time.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper with a mustache, always, since he was 4 years old.
What do you think he did in Vegas that got him kind of excommunicated from Vegas?
Ooh.
I mean, he tried to bring Coke and Pepsi to the same buffet. They said, not in our town, buddy.
I like to think that he stole from the mob. He embezzled money. And that's why this casino isn't doing well either, because he's embezzling here too.
I mean, the way he...
But he's not embezzling.
He's not, yeah.
There's no money in the powwow safe. I mean, spoiler alert.
It's true, though. I mean, the way he kind of like went out like Rambo makes me think maybe he's actually a dangerous man and he did something in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. He's familiar with heavy artillery. So maybe he was a hitman for the mob in Vegas or something like that. And that's what he is hiding from at this shitbox casino in the middle of Minnesota.
Michigan.
I'm looking for young Dennis Farina pictures right now, and they don't exist. They flat out don't. There's like either him salt and pepper with a mustache or him hair dyed with a mustache, but nothing before the age of 54.
I think he started late because he was a Chicago cop before he became an actor.
Oh.
So maybe that's why you can't find photos.
Yeah, because I was just watching Thief, and he's in that, and that's like a really early Michael Mann movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks the same.
He looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Valerie, how do you feel about Danny Trejo's suggestion that an intelligent country would have a second gift-giving holiday?
Christmas too.
Business-wise, it's an amazing idea. I don't love it because I don't love the consumerism of Christmas. But
do you not love the consumerism of Christmas, or do you not love that Christmas has become a consumer holiday? Like, are you mad about Christmas being sullied, or are you mad about consumerism in general?
I mean, it's just, I think that we create a lot of holidays for consumerism, and I don't know that it's great for us. I guess it's good for the country economically, but I think it's bad for us as individuals.
Wouldn't it make more sense to spread it out over the entire year rather than just have we have two holidays where we do all of our purchasing?
I think they tried to, but none of the other holidays have taken as well. Like Valentine's Day,
Arbor Day,
Easter.
Yeah.
Easter.
I heard that they had a National Bosses Day. And I was like, why do we need National Bosses Day? Why do we need another day to worship the people that we already have to worship every day just to make sure we keep getting a check?
Yeah, Valerie, how did Dan make that happen?
He started Meadowlark, you guys.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah.
That's how.
Thank you, Dan.
Something that really pisses me off, I feel like once a month, I see something on Instagram or Twitter where they're like, all right, it's National Pizza Day. It's like, it's every month. It's every month, which why don't we just say we have a monthly pizza day instead of making it National Pizza Day? But it's all the time. They have that for donuts. They have that for puppies. Like there's always one of these national days. And it's not just once a year.
International Pizza Day sometimes.
They don't eat pizza internationally.
Yes, they do. Oh,
They
yes, they do. Everybody eats pizza. Everybody.
I don't think so.
Even the vegans. Even the vegans eat pizza. They can't say no. It's just too delicious.
That's not how vegan food works. That's
No?
not.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Are you certain?
Yeah, I am. You want to do this again?
Valerie, one of the themes of this movie is central themes is dirty macking. First of all, are you familiar with the term dirty macking?
Never heard it.
All right. Dirty macking is when someone is going out with someone else and a friend of one of these two people
Tries to infiltrate.
and maybe claim something for themselves. And so
Wow.
in this case, even though Nick, quote unquote, was dead, spoiler alert, Ben Affleck basically dirty macked his dead cellmate's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. He's a jerk. That was not cool.
He's a villain in this movie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Ooh, Ben Affleck?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say he's a villain.
He's a villain. The only non-villain.
The only hero is Jack Bangs.
Yeah, Jack Bangs is the only hero in this movie.
He's just doing his
I
job.
can't call a guy a hero who says he can't go back to Vegas. There's something sordid in his past.
Oh, you mean Sin City?
No, Reindeer games. But Valerie, do you have any experience, either you or your friends, being the victims or maybe the perpetrators of dirty macking?
No, I don't think that. I don't let a lot of people in, first of all. Like, you have to go through rigorous testing to be part of my inner circle. So if I sniff something around me that's just untruthful, I'm like, nope, you're out. That's it. I don't trust people.
So I've heard of smelling fear, but you can smell lies.
Yes.
What's the worst offense committed that has gotten someone expelled from the inner circle of Valerie?
Nobody's gotten past the,
Once they're in, they're in.
Yeah.
Once they're in, they're
It's like
in.
Olive Garden.
Absolutely.
When you're here, you're family, but it's tough to get in.
Yes, exactly. So nothing. I mean, I haven't had anybody do something terrible to me. I mean, unless I was dating them, of course.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Maybe there's someone else, or maybe there's someone that you know who engaged in this sort of behavior. It didn't involve you, but it happened, or it happened to them.
Oh my God, I don't know. I haven't. Let me give that some thought.
The reason I say this, I know a lot of people who have been dirty macked or are dirty macking. So like it's not a foreign concept to me, knowing of these people.
I don't know many people that have done that or that's happened to. I mean, no.
Okay, different question, right? So one of the things that happens, he's out there, he's the highest level of dirty macking there is, by the way, impersonating the person that you were dirty macking, right?
Wait, hold on. Special circumstances.
What are the special circumstances?
The fact that she's never met this person, right?
Oh, it allows for that to happen, yes.
The fact that he's dead.
Yeah, that allows for that to happen too.
And I think once you flush your license, you're legally anybody who you want to be. So I do think that the special circumstances.
I just think you just named the circumstances that allowed him to get to the highest level of dirty macking, which is impersonating another person.
Tomato.
Yeah.
But the question I had was, he does this. He goes to dinner with her or brunch, whatever the hell they had at IHOP.
Coffee.
Yeah. And then they go back in the room and they have sex all over and they have sex on the floor and they get the covers and the blankets and the pillows on the floor.
I was wondering about that. I'm like, there's a fucking bed right there.
It never happens, right? Like my theory was just if, some spillage or accident happened on the bed, then I guess you wouldn't want that. But wouldn't you just take the sheets off at that point, sleep on the blanket or something? You can call for extra blankets. Like there's so many options that aren't sleeping on that dirty ass motel floor. Like that has definitely not been steam cleaned in forever.
It's received some steam though.
I would not pass the black light test.
But anyways, point being, he does all of this, right? He's okay with it. He even flushes his license down the toilet. And then he goes to Nordstrom's, or it's not Nordstrom's. What's it called? It's supposed to be Nordstrom's, but it's not quite.
It's like a Steinmart or something.
Like, I think it's called Nord Store. I think that's what they call it.
It's some punny word, right?
Yeah.
Like the kind you would find at Walgreens when you're trying to buy, like, I need some aspirin. You mean some Walprin? I need some Zyrtec. You mean Waltec? Yeah. So they're at the store, and she's trying to get him a coat and trying to get him all this stuff. And it's at that moment he has the panic attack. Or not the panic attack, but the attack of guilty conscience. So my question was, how long would it take you to have an attack of conscience before you have to reveal, look, I'm not who you think I am?
He looks at himself in the mirror, for which, first of all, who does that? Like, there's people around. He says to himself, whatever, Rudy. Does he call himself Rudy or Nick?
Yeah, he's a big user of the third person in this movie.
I think he calls himself Ben.
Ben, we're not going to do this for very long. Yeah, I mean, I would never do that in the first place. There is no circumstance that I would ever do that. So
talk to yourself in the mirror?
No, that I would, have this kind of a, no. Yeah. Well, was he talking to Nick in that scene?
Oh.
No, he was talking to Rudy.
Okay.
No,
he speaks in the third person as Nick.
I think
later.
he was Nick talking to Rudy.
He himself was Nick, the spirit of Nick.
When he sees Rudy, yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what was
Rudy,
happening.
what are you doing?
I mean, 6 days. I think 6 days of like...
It would take you 6 days to have a attack of conscience?
It seemed like the sex was pretty good. They seemed to enjoy it.
Much like the disclosure discussion we had. Once you're doing it, I don't know about an attack of conscience. I think you're just doing it, and that's it. This is my life.
No, this is totally different. He didn't have a wife and kids. Like, this is totally different. He's just a criminal.
Is it worse? Which one is worse, Valerie? Is it worse to cheat on your wife and kids? Well, not you're not cheating on your kids. I mean, I guess
you're cheating on your
wife.
kids. That kid knew.
Or is it worse to impersonate your dead friend and lead a woman on?
Friend is aggressive. Hold on. Friend is aggressive.
Best friends.
His best friend.
Best friends.
What's worse?
It's worse to impersonate your dead friend.
What?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Strong disagreement.
I agree with that.
Oh my God, dude's dead. What's he gonna do?
Well, I mean, the whole thing is that you're also lying to the woman. She thinks you're someone completely different. Zach, you don't see anything wrong with that?
I didn't say I don't see anything wrong with it, but I'm a criminal at that point. I'm not a good guy.
What's the crime?
Rule 1: don't put a driver behind the wheel. Right? That's rule 1. And then rule 2 is don't put me with my dead cellmate's girlfriend. That's rule 2. So the 2 rules of the reindeer games.
Never put a thief behind the wheel.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So ridiculous.
I didn't know what you were saying, Zach. I was like,
I couldn't remember the fucking thing. I don't know. It's such bad writing. I thought
so bad.
Keep some
I love
notes,
that he felt the need to take the time to say that, like in that scene, of course.
It was the first time we had gotten any hint that there were rules to these reindeer games. Like that's the first rule we're given. If it had been a running theme of like,
Rules.
All right, here's rule 2 from Scary Sinise, then I would have gotten it. But unless there's rules in the director's cut, I didn't see him.
So he does reveal in the opening scene that he is a car thief. It takes obviously almost the entire movie for that to ever pay off.
Mhm.
But he's in there for Grand Theft Auto, and he says he's serving more time for Grand Theft Auto in a maximum security prison than some of the other guys there who are in for rape and murder. Valerie, do you believe that someone could serve more time for Grand Theft Auto than for rape and/or murder?
I must have this wrong because I thought that what he told his friend is that there was like a bar fight and he ended up killing somebody accidentally in the bar fight.
Yeah, so that's Nick's
Oh,
story.
that's Nick's
is that
story.
He was defending his girlfriend at the time, and it wasn't his fault. And
Millie Bobek.
Manslaughter.
Right.
He was just self-defense.
Yeah, because he wanted to show that he was a good guy.
Con Air. It's Con Air.
Yeah.
It is Con Air, right?
It's Con Air.
Yeah.
That's how we get to the con. And then into the air.
Do you guys know anything about this thing I like to call actor arms?
I'm intrigued.
Enlighten me.
Actors, for some reason, only work out their biceps. And so their forearms are completely like, they have like my forearms and then they've got like biceps. I don't like, what is that? Why don't actors work out their forearms?
Creatine muscles.
Who are you accusing of having actor arms?
I thought of it when Ben was doing his push-ups in the beginning of the movie. And I was like, yeah, he's got a case of the actor arms.
Did you notice his Smoking Aces tattoo on his arm?
I was trying to make out what that was. It was an ace. It was an ace on the sleeve. Ace up
But
the
it was
sleeve.
before the movie.
Am I too soon? I'm too soon.
So, Valerie, I think actor arms is like a 90s, early 2000s thing. Because I think they've probably figured out that you need to work out your whole body at this point. But in the 90s, it was just the glamour muscles, right? That's all you need to tone up.
Yeah.
I feel like forearms are done, though, because every time you got a guy like hammering something with a hammer or an axe, like we always see these big brawny forearms.
That's a new thing. Like the axe, like this swinging a sledgehammer onto a tire. That's only been within the last 10 years as like a workout.
Really?
The Ben Affleck Batman workout is a more whole body thing. Whereas in this one, he's just doing a couple crunches and push-ups. You know, that's all he's got going on.
He's in good shape. But yeah, like he's not, this isn't a full body workout. Like he's just doing the glamour stuff. Right, that's his prison workout. Whereas Nicolas Cage always jacked, like pecs, shoulders. Yeah, he knew what was up. He was way ahead of his time with this stuff.
Many things.
You look at him in that tank top in Con Air. Oh my God,
plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Man is jacked.
Everything but the hair.
How about Gary's actor arms? How is he doing in this movie?
Sitting on top of the
on the jukebox?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, when you saw him on the jukebox, you were like, that man is hell-bent on destruction. Like you just knew. And he was doing the air guitar. But I think they did put him on the jukebox because he's so tiny. And from that angle, it would have looked ridiculous if he was like trying to be all badass standing there.
So there's a shot in the director's cut of all of them walking together. And what my note was, finally, we see how short Gary Sinise and Danny Trejo are. Because you look at them and they look like children. And then Ben Affleck looks like Shaq.
Because Danny's like 5'3".
Oh my
5'4",
God.
something. Like he's a tiny person. Yeah. He's a tiny
like they play him as like this big dude in all
big
these
personality.
roles.
Yeah, tiny person, big personality. Gary's got to be what, like 5'7"-ish? 5'8", maybe? And then Ben's like 6'3"? Like Ben's tall.
He's tall,
He's like 6'1", 6'2".
Okay.
Yeah.
He always looks taller than everyone else in the movie.
Because everyone's so short.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone's so short. It's Hollywood. My one of my buddies has this theory that the reason why all actors in Hollywood are short is because they were too small to like participate in sports or other activities, outdoor activities. So they had to learn other skills.
Or be models.
They had to learn other skills. And that's how they became great actors or great singers, whatever. Everyone in Hollywood is tiny because they weren't allowed to compete physically with the other kids.
For the short men who have really short arms as well, you notice they get jacked very easily. And of course they do, because they have less room to push these weights, so they can push the weights. I only have to do this much, as opposed to really extending a grown-up's arm. So yeah, it's easy for these little guys to get jacked.
Long arms. You got a long way to travel to push these weights forward. Your little arms, like meh,
exactly.
It's already full extension right here.
Right, exactly. Can we talk about the dart scene?
Oh my God. Oh, finally. Can't wait to talk about this.
Valerie, you seem to very much enjoy what was happening in the dart scene based on social media.
It's the best thing in the entire world.
Walk us through your experience of the dart scene.
This has to be the worst 30 minutes in Ben Affleck's acting career outside of Batman. How long was that dart scene? It was about a minute long. I don't know. God, that was hilarious. It looked so bad. And he was there
were eyes rolling back.
I mean, he looked like he was coming. Like, that's what he looked like. There was no pain. Wasn't he supposed to have hypothermia?
It's quite a run, Valerie. So he dives in the lake to save Charlize. He comes out. He's trying to yell at the man who's ice fishing to save him. And then, not really shaking or quivering or shivering that much, we go back to the dart room. and he's suddenly freezing cold.
And he was also very dry.
He's bone dry. He's shivering. He's doing this eyelid thing that looks like he's coming. But then when he gets hit with the dart, Valerie, not cold anymore. Just starts yelling.
No. Yeah. It's pain.
The pain makes you forget.
A dart, not going to be that painful. I'm not going to say it's going to feel good.
I've always
not
wondered.
Like that. Not like that. Like it's not going to be like, I would imagine getting shot with a BB gun hurts way more than getting that dart thrown into your shoulder. And also the amount of force Gary Sinise would have had to throw that with to get stuck in his shoulder like that. I'm guessing it was metal tip darts, not rubber tip darts, but still I'm calling bullshit on that entire scene. I don't think any of it was accurate.
Zach, we watched a movie called Smoking Aces where a guy stabbed another guy with a playing card.
That I believe more.
That's very James Bond-esque, I feel.
The darts or the playing cards?
The playing card.
Do you believe Gary when he said that he was trying to hit him the whole time?
No.
So he's a pinpoint accuracy guy. Because they have a dartboard in the back of the truck. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Yes, they do.
But he's a dartman. Like he is ready to go. So I think he practices a lot. I think he was messing with him.
Yeah, that was his reindeer game.
Oh, yeah, that was his reindeer game. No, he traced him. He traced his head with the darts.
Yeah.
Like, boop, 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 boop. And then he said, hey, if I wanted to hit you, I could hit you anytime. And he sticks him right in the chest. I would have proved the point by hitting him right between the eyes. That's what I would do. If I could throw darts like that, I'd be hitting people right between the eyes.
Would that kill someone?
No, it doesn't get that deep.
Between the eyes?
Your skull.
As long as the dart is still in there, definitely not dead. Maybe if you took the dart out, that would be it.
No, you might lose the ability to like smell apples or something like that, but I don't think you're gonna. I don't think it's gonna kill you.
Is that where the apple smelling
That's the
part
apple
of your brain
smell,
is?
right there. I mean, that's basic biology. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I thought we were all educated here.
Why did he say to Ben Affleck, "Your piss is all you need, Romeo"? Like, what did that mean?
What?
He said, "Your piss is all you need, Romeo."
Is that because it was keeping him warm?
Maybe.
Oh, that would make more sense. Yeah, just pee yourself? But that's not. What a mess. Like, these guys just put a mess all over these hotels.
I do love him calling him Romeo as a derogatory insult, though.
Romeo and convict.
Yeah.
Right? He really hammered home convict. Like he was convict shaming him. And I'm just like,
well, that's important because he's not an actual criminal. He's just a truck driver. So he has to separate
who shoots people and runs guns.
He's not just a truck driver. He's a motherfucking truck driver.
He's a motherfucking truck driver, right? But he's not a criminal.
He is. Like, are you only a criminal if you get caught? Is that
Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess, right.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Isn't it?
You have to be convicted to be a criminal?
Welcome to Cinephobe.
I mean, you have to be convicted to be a convict, right? So like him lobbing convict every few sentences.
Oh, maybe that's it. It's like, oh, you got caught because you suck.
Oh, yeah, like you suck. Yeah, you're bad
Suck
at
at
this.
being a criminal. Yeah,
right.
That's a good point. Valerie, we talked about the dart scene, the eyes rolling back, the bad acting in that scene. But was it worse than the bad acting when Nick dies in prison? When he's, guard! Jesus, guard! Guard! Guard!
Yeah, that was also terrible. But the dart scene wins. Like that wins the worst acting award for Ben Affleck ever.
How did the darts get in his back? He's sitting with his back to the wall, and then he's got two darts poking out of his back at one point.
No, because there's a point where, well, maybe this was in the extended cut.
Oh,
yeah.
He hits him and he winces and he turns away, and then he just keeps throwing darts in his back.
Mm-hmm.
It's that director's cut, man. You
Director's
gotta
cut. Yeah, we didn't get that.
Drop that bag.
It's like 20 minutes longer than the other one.
That's why I didn't get it. Yeah.
So the director's cut can answer the dart in the back question, but it doesn't enlighten us to all the twists and turns of what make this heist functional. So Valerie, did the heist make more or less sense by the time we learn that Nick is involved from the jump?
I thought it was so ridiculous being explained the whole thing by this person at the end of the story. It was just like, what is happening right now? It was just, I thought
previously on Reindeer Games.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was.
Yeah, it's so cheesy. I thought they could have really been a little more artful about that.
Wait, are you the voice that does previously on Cinephobe?
Yeah, you dipshit. We recorded it.
I wasn't there. I was thinking about like, where did Mayes get this voiceover guy from?
He's amazing.
I just wish
No.
that, like, I just
I don't know
wish.
why he didn't ask me.
I can't even begin to tell you the frustration I have with you as a human being. Like I just never mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're talking reindeer games. Okay,
We have a
this is
guest.
not a reindeer game I want to play.
Let's pull ourselves together.
Yeah.
All right.
Focus.
Can we talk
All
about
right.
the cameos, you guys? I'd really like to talk
Yes.
about the cameos.
Yeah. What do you got?
All right. Do you guys know who Dana Stubblefield is? Because this is incredible that he is serving 15 years in prison right now.
Right. Foreshadowing.
I was amazed. Did you guys see Walton Goggins?
no.
What?
Did you see it?
Where
Yeah,
was
he's in the beginning. He's one of the guards, the prison guards.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
shit.
Yeah,
Gotta go back.
I know.
I'm friends with
Rented
Walton. And by friends, I mean, I see him at the dog park a few times, and he once kept stealing the ball away from him and his son having a catch. He just kept running over because his kid wasn't very good at catching, by the way.
Aw.
And so my dog was just chasing the ball whenever he missed it, and he would just run and grab it, and then I had to go get it from my dog and then hand it back to Walton. And but he was really nice.
That's
about
a really sweet moment you shared.
it. Yeah. There you go. I didn't know he's in this movie.
Just basically shit on the guy's kid.
Well, he's not very good. What do you want me to do? They were going to Greece in a couple of weeks. It doesn't matter. Right?
They'll be
Overheard
fine.
some conversations. It's not a big deal.
Oh my God.
TMZ over here. TM Zach.
I was also
What's that?
amazed that Clarence Williams III is in that movie. Did you
Mhm.
guys? Okay, you guys spoke
Yeah.
about this. That was
Repeat offender
amazing.
for us, yeah.
Yeah, but by the way, Valerie, he's not just in the film. He gives us this great speech where he says, "Keep on running, Romeo. Keep on running.
Oh.
As far as you can go. We're truckers, motherfucker.
Yes.
We drive for a living."
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. We can do this all day. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You're not long distance runners. You're long distance truck drivers. That's
Quite
not
the
the same
opposite.
thing.
You spend your whole day not
Right.
exercising, sitting in
Right,
the car.
exactly.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
It means they got no quitting them, is what it means. It means that there's no road too long for these motherfucking truckers.
I've driven 14, 15 hours in a day to get to my parents' home in Salem, Oregon, right? I've done the whole trip in a day before. I wouldn't say that, like, yeah, fuck it, I'll run a marathon. That's not how that works.
Did you enjoy seeing Ashton Kutcher
Yeah.
make his cinematic debut?
I don't know if he was doing anything before this or was this his debut? I thought.
I think he was just a model at this point, right?
No, he was doing that 70s show, but like this
Okay.
was his big screen. Like, remember back in the days, this was a big thing when someone
This
who was
is
a TV
before
actor.
Butterfly Effect?
Yes.
Yes. Dude, Where's My Car was like his first real movie. Butterfly Effect was after he like, okay, let me start making serious movies and not being a dumbass. Like there's a whole.
And how long did that era
Yeah, that worked out
last?
real well.
Yeah.
They went back to TV.
Did they really need to cast somebody for that scene? Because all it is you see him walking through the casino and then suddenly he's wearing the clothes of Ben Affleck.
No. So this is where the director's
learned
cut,
this.
you guys didn't get enough.
What?
Yeah.
Because in the other version, Ben goes in there, he slams him against the bathroom wall. It says, put these clothes on for $100.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, he like gives him $100 to like change clothes, but he slams him against the wall first.
In the most confusing double incentive since Swordfish, where they put a gun to Hugh Jackman's head and had a girl suck him off while he had to crack the code. I just feel like one doesn't really impact the other, so we just pick one, not do both.
Yes.
Doing both would just confuse me.
Right, and you got to be a good hacker. Look, if you're confused during the hacking process, you're not going to make it, all right?
Much like I'd be confused, like, are you beating me up or are you paying me? What's happening here? Take my money.
The best part was that they walk into this small casino in the middle of nowhere, and there's a guy with the exact same preposterous facial hair that they put on Ben Affleck. And they're like, yeah, that's a perfect doppelganger right there.
Absurd.
Bingo.
Freaking absurd.
All right, Valerie, we did this before, so you should be old hat at this by now. Acting their ass on, acting their ass off. Who are your nominees for both those categories?
I'm going to go best, Gary Sinise, obviously. Worst,
Acting his ass off.
assless, Ben Affleck, worst.
Wow.
Worst.
What about, okay, let me push back on you. What about the guy in the count room who gets shot and he's dead on top of the money, but his hands are up in the sky like a cockroach? You know, just-
Charlize walks by and grabs his hand. Why? way. Was she like, let him know, like, yo, these motherfuckers need to be down without like losing the tape?
That's pretty bad too. Yeah. Good nominee.
Golden Dumpster, the scene that basically stole the show for you. It could be good. It could be bad. Where are you going?
I'm going dart scene, hands down.
Amin, you picked Coke and Pepsi in the same soda fountain.
Yeah.
Zach picked Don't Play No Reindeer Games with Me.
Yeah, that's how we knew what it was.
And I picked Danny Trejo reading Business Week and proposing the idea for Christmas 2.
Christmas 2. Valerie, did you know that Donald Logue in this movie was supposed to be Vin Diesel?
Yeah, I did read that. That's interesting.
Better or worse with Vin Diesel?
Better.
Better? Wow. How?
Is he still an alcoholic, do you think? Or
Vin?
Is he maybe just working out in the back of the truck the whole time?
I think he's Dominic Toretto. I think he's doing research on how to steal these trucks and rob them. I think that's why he's a trucker.
Instead of a bottle of brandy, he's just got a Corona.
He's just got a Corona there, yeah.
I think he would have been distracting in this movie.
I mean, he's always distracting. Yeah,
and Gary Sinise would have looked not as big and scary, maybe. That's
true, yeah.
Did the movie end with Ben Affleck saying, "Believe this," and then he closed the door on Nick? Is that how it ended? Was that the last line in the movie? "Believe this"?
Oh, no. Then he walks like 47 miles, dropping off cash into people's mailboxes and talks about how he just wants to be home with his family and eat leftovers. They bring that back.
Then he goes home to his family.
Oh my God. For his turkey.
In this bloody, dirty Santa suit that no one has questions about. And I think at one point, he goes, "You may remember I said, I'm not a holiday guy." And it's like, yeah, from before. I get it. We're going full circle. Yeah.
Wouldn't stop talking about the turkey. It's so annoying.
Before we get to Phobe or File, Valerie, the pool scene with Charlize and Gary.
Mm-hmm.
And where we find out that they're not brother and sister.
Right.
They're man and woman. Was this a twist where you're like, oh no, I didn't see this coming? Or were you just kind of bored?
I was bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow up. When they kiss and then he says, "Ma and Pa aren't going to like this." Did you for a split second say, wait a second, are they brother and sister? And
I actually did for a second. I was like, oh, there's something kind of gross happening here.
That's a better movie.
Yeah, it is, right?
That's a better movie, right?
It's so crazy. Yeah. There's this incestuous relationship.
And especially just to convince her brother to then do this for her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Nick, like, I think it's a better movie.
That was a better sex scene, by the way. That was a way better sex scene than the one previous.
In the hotel?
Yeah, the pool sex scene was better than the other one.
Valerie, how surprised were you that this motel both had a sauna and had room service?
Huh. I didn't note that. That's a good note. Yeah.
Valerie, would you ever, if it looked like relatively safe, would you ever eat food off of someone's discarded room service tray?
No. Like, how drunk would you have to be to eat those freaking chicken? What was it? Fish sticks?
It was like a chicken tender or something like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
how drunk or just starving would you have to be to eat somebody's?
Why not both?
Hey, they're truckers, motherfucker. You know?
Yeah, they're truckers. Like, anything goes.
They got to get what they can get.
We're truckers, motherfucker.
We could eat room service leftovers all day.
We drive for a living. I like the idea of bringing up irrelevant parts of your life to explain stuff like,
hey, can we crack this safe? We're truck drivers, motherfucker. Of course we can.
For a living. Yeah.
Drive for a living.
The powwow safe.
The powwow safe, yeah.
Oh, and then that he had to say pow. Wow. Like, we wouldn't get it. Like,
look, it's a high caliber, like,
it's high concept, man. Yeah. All right, Valerie. Phobe or File for Reindeer Games?
Just tell me, because when you say Phobe, is this like a movie that you would never watch again? And File is like, I would file this as like one of the movies I would watch again, basically.
That's how I tend to approach it. Is like, if I wouldn't watch this movie again, it's a Phobe. If I would, it's a File.
Okay.
Now, but it's kind of ambiguous. It's up to, whatever you want it to be.
It's really up to you. You've established that you phobe disclosure.
Yeah.
Right? So you have that as your barometer.
You can still change that. If you want to go back on that, you can still change it.
Stop trying to get me to change it. I think in this movie, I would only watch for the Gary Sinise parts. Like I couldn't get enough. I kept rewinding and going back to the jukebox air guitar scene. That might have been my favorite thing in the movie besides the dart scene.
It's great.
I love him so much as Gary Sinise. It's the best.
I'm so mad I didn't think of Scary Sinise. That's brilliant. That's great.
He was terrifying.
Yeah.
He always is.
And sexual.
Until he stood up. Then he's an action figure at that point. Put him away in your toy bin.
Oh, hello, Mr. Sinise.
Oh, who left you out? Like, God damn it, Jimmy. Pick up your Gary Sinise. Put it away. How many times do I have to tell you?
Phobe or fob, Valerie?
I'm going to... Well, can I phobe it and then say if it's on, I'm only going to watch it if Gary Sinise is on the screen? Like for that scene.
I just want to remind you, if you file it, you did phobe disclosure. Just want to remind you of that. So
that's okay. I can live with that. But I'm actually going to phobe this. I'm phobing it.
Wow.
I know.
I was counting on you, Valerie.
I know.
Yeah, it means the only one that filed it.
I can't file it for the one scene that I love. I can't do it.
Yeah, you got to have some standards.
But there were plenty of scenes to love. You loved all the Dennis Farina scenes.
I mean, I do love him. But should I file it just because I love Dennis Farina?
You love Gary Sinise. You love Dennis Farina. There you go. What more do you need?
Also, remember, Valerie, you see this thing on TV. You're not going to see the director's cut on TV. So you're not getting the Coke or Pepsi speech.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's not in the regular version.
That's tough, but I am getting the thing I missed with the director's cut.
It's threatening a man with $100.
I'm phobing it. Phobe.
It's a good choice.
You guys phobed it as well?
I phobed it. Maze phobed it. Amin filed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was entertaining. I was into the story. I wanted to know what happened. I wanted to see how he would get out of it.
Were you surprised at the end?
The twist?
Yeah,
I was. I didn't see that twist coming. Nick's still alive. How about that?
I was surprised, but it made me much angrier. I was very angry.
Especially when I heard the whistling.
Yes.
Right? I thought, you gotta be shitting me. That was my reaction. Not like, oh, Nick's alive. I was like, you got
another reindeer game. Whistling. What was that? Because it was a Christmas song.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Isaac Hayes. Because I was really upset that Isaac Hayes died so early in the movie or then die or whatever. And I was wishing he'd be back. And then I found out he was back and I got excited again. It was kind of like we watched Delta Farce for Memorial Day, which hasn't happened yet.
Still spoiling it. Still
hasn't been out yet.
Still not out.
Well, am I too soon?
Too soon. All right, Valerie, before we get out of here, we're going to run through Ben Affleck's dating history. All right?
And you have to phobe or file those relationships.
It's the end of Affleck month. Been in the news for it recently, so we're going to take it back all the way to the beginning. Cheyenne Rothman, 1990 to 1997. They're high school sweethearts. They met at summer camp. Then, Good Will Hunting, she's cut. The end. Graduated to Gwyneth Paltrow.
Jesus.
All right? Met at a dinner party. They were off and on. They made Shakespeare in Love. They made Bounce. She's coming off her relationship with the actor that your dog is named after, Brad Pitt, when they had the same hair.
She was with Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Look that picture up right now. They have the exact same haircut, Zach.
That's true. Did you guys know that Gwyneth Paltrow claims to have invented yoga?
I did know that, which
Amazing.
You know what? Oh, wow, they do have the same haircut. I might get the same haircut as Aaron. You know, this is kind of working.
She also claimed to have invented mask wearing, or making it cool, at least in America.
Long before the coronavirus.
She's great.
She's fearless, I'll tell you that. She told Howard Stern in 2015, I think my parents appreciated how Ben's super intelligent and really, really talented and so funny, but he was not in a good place in his life to have a girlfriend. I think they were okay with the two of us not being together.
Are we phobing or filing Ben and Gwyneth Paltrow?
Phobe. Big phobe.
Next up, Bennifer, 2002 to 2004. Met on Geely.
File.
Huge file. Gave us Geely. Oh, my
Rubbed her
God.
ass in the music video. Remember
That's
that?
true.
Oh,
Do you know why their wedding was postponed, Valerie?
9/11.
I don't. What?
No, it's no.
That's your answer for everything.
Am I too soon?
They were going to get married in Santa Barbara in 2003, but the media attention was so excessive, they were planning on having 3 doubles of J-Lo in her wedding dress just to throw the people off the scent. And it was just becoming too chaotic, so they broke up, even though there's still some love there.
That makes me think that this is all planned. Like, I think this might not actually be happening, this Bennifer stuff.
Or the previous 18 years were all planned, right?
Yeah.
Like, do this,
To
go to
everybody
A-Rod,
off the
you know? And then, like, they were just sitting in bed one night watching baseball. He's like, A-Rod's the one. That's the mark.
Watching baseball while Mark Anthony played on the radio.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, and Ben's just like, I got an idea. Now hear me out here. It's a little hot around our wedding right now. So this is what we do to cool it off.
Where'd he go after J-Lo? What happened then?
Next up was another Jennifer Garner.
They got married.
2004 to 2015. Yeah. Met on Pearl Harbor in 2001. Made Daredevil together in 2003. Future callback.
Am I too soon?
9 months after Bennifer, he took Jennifer Garner to a Red Sox World Series game. Is that a good public first date, Valerie? The World Series?
Yes.
Like if Dan had taken you to a Marlins game,
yeah,
it was like one of your
that
first
was the
dates.
debut.
Is that like
that sounds like you want to break up with me?
I wouldn't be impressed by probably anything sports related. Sorry, guys. It's not my thing. So he took me to a zoo, and that was like my favorite thing ever. So,
okay, there you go.
If there's animals involved, I'll be happy.
That one, is it that one that's off the... Oh, it's probably
the Ron McGill Zoo. Yeah. So it was like private tour. It was like amazing.
I thought it was Paratopia or whatever the
that's
fuck
what
that
I
shit
thought at first. I was just thinking of the drive. I was like, I remember driving by that thing, and that's never mind.
Oh man, I was going to invite you to the We Bought a Zoo episode in the future, but it doesn't qualify. It's a bummer.
That piece of shit don't qualify.
They were married in 2005. They separated in 2015 amid reports of Ben's gambling and alleged liaisons, but he still denies banging the nanny, Valerie. Are you with him?
Oh my God. I didn't know there was a nanny involvement. What is with the nannies, people? What's happening there?
She's there.
They're around.
Disgusting. Like, are you guys that uncontrollable
Nurturing.
that you just I just mean all men, because this seems to happen a lot. Like, what's the deal with the nanny? Is she's just there and so it's easy?
I mean, we saw in Disclosure, like you snap and then it's just whoever is the first person around, they draw your ire.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, Valerie, if you've learned anything from Disclosure, the women take the men to the breaking point to where then they want to have sex with the nanny.
Right. It's always the woman's fault. That's true.
That's according to Michael Douglas.
Especially if you're Michael Douglas.
Rebound from Jennifer Garner was an SNL producer named Lindsay Shookus from 2017 to 2019.
I didn't see that one coming.
I'm
shook us pretty well.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
I don't remember that at all.
No, you don't. Who is?
Yeah.
He also had a fling with a 23-year-old vet tech / Playboy model named Shauna Sexton.
Oh,
21?
Wait a second. What? Did you just say Playboy model?
/ vet tech. Yeah. She was a dual role.
Wow.
23-year-old.
Oh, my.
Lindsay Shookus is a 4-time winner of the... Wow. Okay.
Then there was an affair with Katie Cherry, who we met on Raya. This is when you know that the Raya phase started in 2019. And then, of course, Ana de Armas, which was 2020 to 2021.
Oh, yeah.
They met on Deep Water, which is a sexual thriller from Adrian Lyne that still hasn't come out yet. Adrian Lyne did Indecent Proposal and Fatal Attraction. Did you enjoy the paparazzi photos of the two of them where she's just laughing hysterically at every single thing that he says while he drinks a Dunkin' Donuts?
Oh, God.
His relationship with Dunkin' Donuts is great.
Does that look like romantic bliss to you? Is that what it's all about?
I don't know. I thought that he was coming out of like some kind of a hole with that relationship. So I guess I was a little bit happy for him.
And they split because she wanted kids and he didn't want any more kids. So now...
No, it's more nanny involvement. You can't have it.
Yeah, it's a trigger for him.
He's just protecting himself.
Bennifer 2? Do you believe it's happening, Valerie? Are they back? They went to Montana?
I'm skeptical. I feel like the way that Hollywood used to sort of like plan these relationships, I feel like J-Lo does this. I think that she, there's evidence of her calling certain, whatever you call it, like calling certain whatever outlets in order to get this out there and to take certain photos. Like they're calling the people to get the photos taken at the right time. It just seems a little bit planned.
I see a picture of them in a car together, and I'm just curious, what do you think they talk about in a drive? Like, what's that conversation?
I think he listens.
Like at home or anything. He listens to her.
I think he listens to her talk.
That's probably right. Yeah. There's probably not a whole lot of like J-Lo is saying, so how was your day?
I don't think so.
Isn't he drunk all the time? He's not. No, I have this wrong about Ben Affleck.
He's either drunk or drinking coffee.
Didn't you say that he went to rehab or something like that?
Like that's why he made that movie about the alcoholic basketball coach.
So he could drink?
Well, no, I thought
I can drink on screen. This is amazing.
I'll make character, bitch.
Actor, yeah. Brando, look it up. It's called Method.
Method acting. I love that.
Yeah. I don't know that he's drunk all the time. I think that's a wild accusation to throw out there.
I feel like TMZ did that because he likes to smoke cigarettes. I don't know.
So, Valerie, you're saying that Bennifer 2 right now is purely a fabrication, that they're just feeding the press right now. There might not actually be anything there.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I couldn't disagree more.
From February 2021, Ben Affleck gets candid about lifelong battle with alcohol addiction. He filmed the way back while still in the early stages of his recovery following his treatment. Quote, so yes, I'm an alcoholic. Yes, I had a relapse, he told The Hollywood Reporter. This is from February 2021.
No, I don't think that means he's drunk all the time. I think it just means he has a problem with alcohol.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, having a problem with alcohol and being drunk all the time are not mutually exclusive.
Watch a Dr. Drew show just once, okay? Look it up.
Why, is he drunk too?
Might as well be. That fraud. Don't even get me started on that fraud. All right. Well, Valerie, this has been fantastic. So we're filing Bennifer 1. Are we phobing everything else?
Yeah. Phobing everything else and phobing the Gwyneth Paltrow relationship.
But yeah, that's an easy phobe. We can sweep that one. That's the easiest phobe of all. Valerie, thank you so much for joining us for this addendum 0.5, whatever we're calling this. Thank you for playing these reindeer games with us. Valerie
That's
Le Batard.
cute. Thank you, guys.
Next time we make love, you introduce me to Jade.
I'm not good enough to just invent it from whole cloth, you know? I didn't have to do research for the alcoholism aspect of the movie. That was covered. It was the Daniel Day-Lewis approach to that.
Now, Mayes, please clip in when Amin asked about 8 minutes ago.
Isn't he drunk all the time?
The Daniel Day-Lewis approach?
His quote.
That's not... Daniel Day-Lewis hasn't been drilling oil his whole life. For There Will Be Blood.
No,
you don't know what he does.
But what did he do for My Left Foot? He lived without his left
in a wheelbarrow or
foot
something.
For a year.
Yeah, he wore a peg leg.
When the movie is happening, he's in it. But Ben Affleck's like, yeah, I've been drunk my whole life, so I'm ready for this part.